talking about that shit that y'all rigged, right?
That wasn't rigged. Why would it be rigged?
Oh my God, Lupe Fiasco, you talking to me about that shit that y'all rigged with all the best gamers in the world that they
Were
let
you
you fucking win because of
were
your
you were
name and your
you
likeness?
were you
Are you
even
trying to
there? Were
you
you
trying
there?
to Atlantic Records me?
What is this? You know
You
what?
trying
I
to
just want to. I
Atlantic
just want to let you
Records
know. First of all, I
smoke
just
and
want to let you know
mirrors me?
something, man. Your support for Craig Kallman is misplaced, and you will soon learn swiftly. And Steve, that nigga's no good. But
Wait, which
anyway,
Steve? Which
you'll learn
Steve?
the hard way. Steve Stout. Yep.
No, I have a different set of beliefs
Y'all gonna learn the
regarding.
hard way about
Listen
young
to
Craig
this.
Kallman and what he does in these
Listen,
streets.
Lupe. I used to share the bitterness that you have toward the
I'm not
industry.
bitter.
Yes, you
Where am I
are.
bitter? Well, how am I bitter? Look at
Lupe,
the smile on
what
my
do you
face.
mean? Lupe, come on, man. Let's have an honest conversation. You
Let's
are
have it.
bitter. You are bitter because you are arguably the greatest rapper to ever live.
Yep.
And I
And
think that, and I think that you entered some shit, and art was mishandled, and you are not viewed coming out of that the way that you should be viewed by the masses. It's not something that's just specific to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to Royce. It's happened to Black Thought. It's happened to Hove at one point. Not the mistreated, not the being mistreated by the industry, but I'm saying all of the greatest rappers in the world have experienced this, and you
experience.
haven't resolved. You
Wait,
haven't
experience
resolved
what though?
yours.
Like I'm trying to get an understanding of what you mean. Experience what specifically?
This is already rarefied air because I'm only talking about niggas that are of a certain ability to rhyme. That's number
Right,
one.
in the realms in which we walk. But when you
We
talk
we
about
went through it.
specific,
We went through it. And we went through it out of love and got chewed up. That's what I'm saying. Don't make it deep. We went through it together. Well, not together. I went through it first, and then you went through it, and we got chewed up, and we took hits from it, professionally, personally, reputation wise. They dragged our names through the mud, nigga. We're kindred souls.
no,
We
you
are
didn't,
eye to eye
Joe.
here.
Joe, you never had it as bad as me. I know no other rapper in the industry. Period. You know, I know a bunch of people. I know no one in the industry apart from people who got like literally raped, or from people who literally got fucked over. Um, that had it as bad as Lupe Fiasco in the time between the cool and the end of my record contract with Atlantic.
I wonder why you think that.
It's not a think. I mean, the factual,
How do you
actual
how do you
facts.
conclude that?
I've had to have. There was a protest to get my third album out, a
I
petition
remember.
to get that album out.
I
Right.
remember.
The last and final album, the fifth album, it took a hacker group, which was at the time fighting the Ku Klux Klan and the North Korean government, took time out to advocate on behalf of the release of my record.
I remember that too.
Nobody in rap has ever had that happen to them. Period.
What, to have some powerful ass group come and fight for your rights?
Yeah, anonymous. Nobody's
I
ever had
know.
that.
I know. I was shook of them niggas.
Right. So in terms of like, of course, the contract foolery and the shenanigans and all that shit, everybody's deal is gonna have some bullshit, and it all depends on how much you navigate and negotiate, how powerful your rebuttals and responses are. But in terms of just general, no nigga in the game can bring to the table in terms of getting, having to fight the good fight and getting beat up about it as far as Lupe Fiasco. Period.
I don't think
The president doesn't like me.
I don't think your story comes anywhere near my story. I think you are. I think you are. I think you are. Yeah, you a little misinformed, Lupe Fiasco.
What
You
are you
went
talking
right
about?
because you went right to the tough years for you, which I remember. I remember the boycott. I remember you pump faking with the album. I remember you responding to everything Atlantic said about uh, the release of your album. I remember Anonymous. You skipped over the hits.
Mm-hmm.
You skipped over classic albums. You skipped over a run that you had. So you can't acknowledge one side without acknowledging the other.
No, I've
Lupe,
had there's great notice my only beef at Atlantic Records and has always only been with 3 people. Craig
Craig.
Kallman, Mike Caren, and Mike Kyser.
Okay.
Right, the rest of the building, beautiful. Julie Greenwald is an amazing executive and a wonderful record executive, and in some cases a wonderful person at that. Like very supportive. Marsha is amazing. The whole staff, from
Mm-hmm.
promotions to radio to regionals, like
How
Atlantic
do you have a
Records,
beef with Kyser?
huh?
How do you have a beef with Kyser?
Because when I had pneumonia, a lot of what people are dying from right now with this COVID-19 situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had pneumonia at the end of the Cool tour. And I was instructed by my doctors, like I could have died. And the doctors told me, you can't fly. Right. And, you know, it wasn't me punt faking. It's like the doctor said, if you get on a plane, you might die. So Mike Kyser was the dude who had the link at BET. So everybody has their position at a label for a various reason. They might have a link to MTV. They might be the man at this, the man at that. So Mike was the man at BET. So him and what's the bald head dude name at BET?
The bald head dude at BET.
What's his name? The head of BET, not Deborah.
Oh, you talking about Steven? Steven.
So they were doing fucking Spring Bling, bullshit ass Spring Bling. I think not Kick Push. Something was popping. I think Superstar was popping, and they wanted me to go to Spring Bling down in I think Panama City or Daytona Beach, whatever the fuck it was, to do Superstar, just that song and leave for their Project Runways, whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, yo, my doctor told me not to fly, man. You know, like no disrespect. You know, I love BET. I fuck with it. And I guess Kyser and fucking Steven had their little powwow. This nigga Kyser called me, tell me, if you don't get on the plane and fly down here to Spring Bling, BET's not gonna play anymore your music or your videos.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one.
But wait. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
nigga,
that's my point about you, man.
So peak game. So it's like you want me to risk my life to fly down to Daytona Beach to do one song, and that's it. And if I don't do it, you're not going to support or play any of my music.
I quickly learned that that's how this works.
Yeah, so I don't fuck with Mike Kyser. That and for other reasons. I don't fuck with Craig for deeper, darker, dirtier fucking reasons. And the same thing with Mike Caren. But that's just 3 specific people.
I've never had the pleasure of meeting Mike Caren.
Hey. Anyway, but I'm past
I don't feel like a nigga with the hits that you have is allowed to really do that.
Do what you mean?
Because on the radio side's perspective, they've already spent X amount of dollars getting the song where it needs to be. It's the old days, so they probably did the same on the video. They serviced it, timing, all of this bullshit. You know the routine. So no, they don't care about us. And BT definitely was gonna tell them, nah, we're not doing that if you don't get down here. That's how the business works. I hate the business of it.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. Because they don't really give a fuck about the artist or our actual well-being. Like, but you too dope to still even give them that part of your soul. That's how I feel. I feel that was so long ago. Nigga, we on Street Fighter, we on Ninja Swords, karate, we on so much other holistic shit. Your mind is like so much greater than even having the time to retroactively look at some shit, man.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
I'm also petty, and I also know that the damage that niggas did is legacy damage. You know, I know niggas tried to fuck my life up physically, etc. Right, in other ways. So, and I still had niggas spreading rumors about me to this day about promoters who didn't want to book me for shows over what niggas was doing. You know, so remember my first album leaked. Who did that? We still don't fucking know. Right? So I mean, it's shit that's like, yeah, and to be honest, it's certain shit that I leave alone. You know, I just keep it moving. But I also need to, when I see shit that's like fucked up, and I know that artists are still gonna have to be artists and they're still working within a certain system that's fucked up. It's good to give people that other side of the story and that heads up, like that nigga that you fucking with is a snake. Like, I know you're gonna get money and you're gonna win, and you're gonna get on the radio and you're gonna get famous, and you're gonna buy a house and you're gonna da 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 da. But remember that nigga that you fucking with is a snake, right? And you might be getting show money, but then how does that nigga have more publishing on your songs than you do?
Oh, you talking now?
Yeah. How is the CEO of the company gonna have more publishing on your songs than you do? So how you supposed to get paid in a legacy play? Because eventually the shows are gonna slow up.
Well,
right?
and that's kind of why we need your voice as a beacon of light to be shined upon some of the newer acts, Lupe.
Yeah, but you gotta let me shit on these niggas sometimes. You can't just call me bitter because I'm shitting on the niggas who fucking the game up. Steve Stout said the game needs to change, right? I watched the little piece. He's like, this need to switch, this need to switch. Nigga, I was there when the niggas let Spotify in the building, right? And I was one of the first niggas with Spotify on my computer, right? And I seen the shit, and niggas talking about music needs to become a utility, like you pay a water bill, you pay a music bill, et cetera, and drop the price of a song from 99 cents to less than fucking a fraction of a penny.
I was there for the 360 birth.
I was there with the niggas thought my 360 shit. They gave me my 360 deal when I was in recovery for pneumonia. Craig Kallman I'm laying in a fucking hotel room with a bottle of promethazine and some Tylenol 3, and this nigga sitting on the side of the bed with a fucking look like a menu from Denny's with all of the bill points on it with my picture on that shit. So I mean, if you really truly want to change the business, like you would like the conversation you and Steve had, which was a great conversation. Other than that point, you see, I ain't say shit else. Then you gotta point out the people that ain't shit, that's hiding behind the success of other people, right? That's really fucking the game up. They really are the reason that the game is fucked up. Leor is a big part of the game being fucked up, and how niggas move and how niggas getting fucked over, and you know, like just genuine what they call it. Like they don't, like you said, they don't really give a fuck about the well-being of the artist. Well, when are they, and what's gonna make them do that?
Well, right. Lupe, we're kind of witnessing the same thing between us as a population and the U.S. government.
In what way?
They don't give a fuck about us as a people.
Now you're straying in the territory where it's like, again, that's not the case for the USC. When I say Atlantic Records, I say Craig Kallman, Mike Caren, Mike Kyser. I don't say the whole fucking building. When it's time to like really break it down and get into the nitty gritty of the conversation, who did what, as well as Leo Cohen. But I'm not throwing the whole fucking building under the bus. My picture's still up there on the wall.
I know.
You know, for good reason. You bring 14 Grammy nominations and a Grammy into the building, and you sell 3, 4, 5 million records. You know.
See, and that's why niggas like me, Lupe, feel like you can't really feel like you feel. And I've said this to all the niggas that have had a much better career professionally than I have. Like, y'all niggas was rocking. At some point, you was playing the game the right way with cooperation from your label. That never happened to Joe.
Joe. Bro, who put Kick Push on the radio?
On the radio. That was you.
We did that.
Yeah, I know.
Who called WGCI?
Wait, stop. Stop right there. Who continued to finance Kick Push?
Stop. You getting into something. Who put Kick Push on the radio?
You did.
We did. First and 15th Productions. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Who called WGCI, which was giving Kick Push about 200 spins a week, and told them to stop playing the record?
I don't know.
Craig Kallman.
Okay.
Personally called. How do we know that?
That's my next question. Let's do it.
Because the PD of the radio station was on our friends.
Do we know why?
So in the meeting that Craig had about that, once it got out, right? They said, well, why? He got confronted with the shit like, yo, you know, the PD of GCI reached out to us and told us that he got a call from you that said to slow down or stop playing the song. So the niggas in all the A&R staff was there. Niggas couldn't believe it. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Asking Craig, why would you do that? Right? And he said so he could give the label more time to catch up.
I was going to guess that.
That's crazy.
Or smart.
No, that's not smart. That's crazy. Because every A&R in the room was like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you slow down a record?
I can answer that.
Why would you actively slow down a record as opposed to meeting the record where it is? It's not hurting anybody. You know why he did it?
Yes.
You know why he really did it?
Oh, no.
Because he didn't have nothing to do with Kick Push.
Oh, okay, well, that exists in the corporate world too, though.
From an equity position. He didn't have any publishing. He didn't have any royalty rights. He didn't bring the producer. He didn't have anything to write it. He had nothing to do with it. You know what they did?
What?
They flew down to the Philippines to find the woman who we sampled the record from and bought the entire record from her. So they actually own the song that Kick Push is sampled from. That's what they did. You like that? I could do that with Listen, I could do that with Superstar.
But Lupe, wait. Slow down, man.
I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. But I could do that same conversation with Superstar. I could do that same conversation with Show Goes On. I can do that conversation with Battle Scars. Like the conversation around Battle Scars is so fucked up.
But wait, I'm about to sound like a real Republican right now.
Do it. Do what you gotta do.
All right. Oh man. All right. But Lupe, isn't that smart?
It's genius. Joe,
Yo,
listen.
That is some genius shit.
On some gangster shit. Atlantic doesn't double dip, they triple dip. It's fucking genius.
That's hard, Lupe.
It's cold-blooded.
Yeah, that's hard.
Don't get me wrong. Trust me, Joe, I'm from the streets. I'm a street nigga for real. The shit's genius.
Yeah, that's some ill shit.
Grow it, sell it, and own the pawn shop that niggas are stealing the TVs and selling the shit back to you so you can sell, nigga.
That's a cold game. That's a cold game. Hey, but wait. See, but listen now, and this is why I'm against you.